2013. There's so many things to remember today. We have a whole lot of new things to work through. And before I get to that, let me say, hey, salutations, kindred spirits. Thank you for joining me on our live, what are we calling this now? Conn's Magic Sesh. As I was commenting to the chatters pre-stream, it's always nice to see kindred spirits chatting it up, you know. We went and saw a magician last week. What are you working on? Excited about the stream. Thank you all for your continued support. We got some likes on the video already. And hey, if this over sounds like fun, go ahead and like the video. I'm supposed to say that as a YouTuber, and I've said that. Let's do less YouTubing. Let's do more magic. I do have to do a couple of card things before I begin, as I am low on my quota. If you're not up on the council rules, 62 per week. That's the number that we're required to do. So that's just the sandwich tricks. That's just the sandwich tricks. So the struggle is real. We're going to do a sandwich tricks with jokers. So that's one of the two. Here comes the other one, hardcore style. Hoya, wah, boom. All right, that's the two jokers. We'll also need a freely selected card. Now, I'll have someone from chat. I know Matthew Mosley is here. Hey, Matthew Mosley, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to put these jokers together in the deck there, together, and Matthew Mosley will name a card for us. Now, Matthew knows why I might be picking him here today, but regardless, Matthew, if you will name a card, if you name a card, Matthew, we'll use the one you pick. Just realized I didn't have me up here. Now I'm here. Jack of Spades. All right. Matthew Mosley has chosen the Jack of Spades. Here is my proclamation. The two jokers will discover the freely named Jack of Spades. It happens when we say the magic words. The magic words. And with that utterance, look, the jokers have traveled. Come here. One joker to the what? One joker to the top of the pack. One joker traveling to the bottom of the pack. Oh, we're off to a fumble finger start today. Ergo, in between, right at the face, the Jack of Spades is trapped between the... Okay. Hey, we can do gooder than this, folks. I'm going to work this out for you as we improve the prestidigitation. We're going to ramp it up just a little bit. Let me see if I can. Let me see. Oh, the chat today. Let me see if I can work this out with the two jokers, and we'll shift these literally into the center of the deck. Let me just shift them into the middle of the deck and see if we can get them to trap one card in between them as we go through the pack, and we'll find oh yeah, it was near the end. The two jokers have trapped one pasteboard, and really the whole point of doing this was just to have a card selected. And now I feel like I could have started the stream a couple minutes early, just done that trick. Oh, but they're applauding. Hey, look, we have applaud. We have applaud. Matthew is applauding. Drew's here. What's up, Drew? Good to see you. Kiki Chad. Yo, hey, bud. Good to see you as well. We have the card. We're going to make it Matthew's card. And next time I send Matthew a package, and I will because I do that on a regular basis, Matthew will receive said pasteboard. Now, I'm imagining a universe where we had thought before the stream started to do something with this card besides just a rudimentary sandwich trick. So I have done that as we segue into the second part of our program. And let me just cheat hardcore while I can. Where is it? It's over here. The second part of our program will be an unboxing, and we're going to unbox the Orphic Wallet. The Orphic Wallet, and that handling might have been a little bit subterfuge. Is that the right word? Suspicious, a little sus. But hey, it has to be that way when you're loading a card into the wallet. Let's not show the tutorial, Mr. Conn. We're loading the card into the wallet, into the inner sanctum of the wallet. Yep, and there is one card in there. And if this is Matthew Mosley's card, well, that is it's Matthew Mosley's card. Of course it is. Matthew Mosley. That is a ramp up from phase one and an authentic demonstration of one of the things that this Orphic wallet does. Now, as I do these things, let me tell you all, I'm nervous. This is all new stuff for me. And, I get a lot of people ask me about how do you calm the nerves? How do you make you not be nervous when you're doing that? And really the answer is to be prepared, which I'm not today. I know how? Oh my God, what? Here's a good question. How much is the wallet? We'll get to that in a second. But let me first of all say, the key to nerve preparation is preparation, right? Which I don't have a lot of on the material I'm doing today. And I'm going to talk loosely about that and openly as I discuss some items that Murphy's Magic was kind enough to send me. So this is an open disclosure that they sent me what they call an influencer package. How fun for me. It's like Christmas in my house to receive a box of Murphy's stuff. I'm not being paid to promote their things. I'm just accepting the box and I'm doing with it whatever I want. I'm going to poo-poo some of their things as well. We'll do that later in the stream, but this is a good item at $75. And note that while it does the card to wallet effect, it does that kind of as a bonus. And there's actually like an hour plus of tutorials on this device. It's mainly used as a peak wallet. So this was developed by a mentalist. And when I say that, you might have a spectator write something down on your business card. They write down a thing on the card, they put it here, and then you go about your business and you're able to psychically divine or duplicate their drawing. I am not an expert on mentalism. It's way, way far from my specialties. But after watching the tutorial, I feel like if this is your oeuvre, if you like mentalism things, this could be worth your attention. Specifically, I've handled other wallets like this, the size. This thing is just sleek. It's a well-made, that's a nice leather, but the size of it is a good modern. A lot of these minimalist wallets are like freaking ginormous things. Even I recently handled the Bob Cassidy Peak wallet, which I was very excited about. This thing maybe even more so just because of the size. And in addition to that, he describes bill switches, serial divinations. There's a whole section by Craig Petty on extra card tricks you can do. If you think I like it, you're right. That's the Orphic wallet. And thank you, Murphy's, for entrusting me with some of your goods. Oh, where's Matthew Mosley's card? I wanted to do one more trick with Matthew's card as we, here, let me get this back here. Let's see. So Matthew's card is going to do this. And this is a trick. Let me preface this. I did this on shorts last week. This is Hanson Chien Hollywood. This is, let me just do the thing and I'll explain as I did. I did it last week on shorts and I chose, let me get Matthew's card here. I chose a presentation that maybe didn't describe or showcase the elegance of this thing. And yes, Ion, we know it's your favorite. I'm aware of that. So here's what you do. Here's how I did it for my wife when I vetted this trick. I wanted to make sure it was a good effect. I gave my wife a card and I asked her if she could push it through the box with the deck in there. And there's a slit in the box if you can't see the slit, right? There's a slit in the box. You challenge your spectator to push it through. Of course they can't because there's a deck in the box. You do a little magic, and this is, again, where I'm doing something I haven't done before. This is not the presentation that I chose to showcase, but I'm doing it for you today as I take a card and push it through the slit. That's right. It's going right through the, all the, is it going all the way? Yeah, it is. All the way through. And you could even have, you could have Matthew take his card, put it through there. And this becomes magical, the most magical, when you hand your spectator the deck. You give them the box to open it up and discover that inside the box is now a block of wood. It's a solid block of wood. It's examinable by your spectator. I vetted this by my wife. She was fooled completely. And this is Hanson Chien's Hollywood. Now, this is a good effect. It's time proven in many forms. This was originally introduced as a brass penetration in a matchbox. Great trick if you can find that one. Pocket version. Jamie Grant came up with a version of this, Industrial Revolution, that used a metal block. This thing weighed about 5 pounds. It was a great effect, but heavy to carry. Would I carry this? I probably would leave this. I don't know that I would carry this at a gig, right? This is the kind of thing. Hanson actually, he describes this as an art piece in the tutorial. And you know what? It is very much like that. Okay, I covered up this for a reason. Look at this wonderful presentation you get with the Hanson Chien product. A nice, I open this thing which holds the block, which is the gimmick. It is a gimmick block. And then I'm watching the tutorial thinking how nice it would be to have a card box with a slit and some of the other things. And look what you find underneath the thing. Everything you need in there, ready to go. There's 2 boxes with slits and some extra pieces. So you get double gimmicks. And you're paying a lot for this thing. This is not a cheap prop. This is like $100 piece. But wow, what a good time. And again, full disclosure, Hanson, I got an email from one of his social media people, said, hey, Doug, I think we have a trick you'd like to have fun with. And I'm like, yeah, I would, because I love magic. So send me your things. Send me all the things. I'm buried in it. Actually, don't send me things. I'm buried right now. I got more to get through today and more next week as we go on. All right. Anyway, recommended, expensive, worth it. Yes, worth it. And I look forward to returning to some other explorations with Hanson's lovely holy wood. There's your card, Matthew. All right. All right. So are we done with the card tricks? What's next on my list here? This thing. Oh, this is what I wanted to point out. Hanson's wonderful. Here, if you open the Hanson product, can I get this in here? What's the first thing it says? Please watch the tutorial. Is that right side up? It says, please watch the tutorial. There it is. So when you open a thing like this, you don't go goofing around with the merchandise, gimping it up before you do the tricks, because maybe it'll be foul. There's a good question by Alan Boudreau. If I wasn't clear, when you do this effect, your spectator opens the box to discover the wood block themselves, and it is absolutely just examinable. It was examined by my wife, who is as jaded as they come, and she didn't discover it. It's a very well-made prop. Thanks again, Hanson Chien. Here's why I say that, because this trick, which was also sent to me by Murphy's, and this is the highlight of this trick, the packaging, this little air envelope, makes it look like something a friend would send you with some interesting cards in it. And here's the thing about these cards. You know, as is with most magic props, you open them up and you go, what's in here? And I did that, and I moved them around. I shuffled them about. And to make a long story short, if you move the product around, this is hard to put back together. Could I do it? Probably. Have I done it? Nope. This needs a label. Don't move it around. Now, as a side note to that, and this is Eruption, if you guys want to research the product, I don't want to, crap on something that I haven't done a lot of homework and even tried the trick out. But what this basically is a version of Max Maven's B-Wave or B-Wave. And in my opinion, it might be a downgrade, as they add cards. There's 6 cards. And then in one of the phases, I don't know. There. I think that's your review on that product. Maybe if I wouldn't have moved it around, I'd feel a little differently. All right. I got a good one to talk about. And I know a lot of you are excited about this thing, the Quantum deck. I've had a lot of requests from viewers, and I'll be answering some requests If you ask some questions in the community tab, I'm answering questions soon. I've got some helpful tips coming your way. But this is not a product that I have even played with. And I'll give you a full disclosure. Here is why. I developed a sleight of hand handling for this that uses the pinky count and the pass. Granted, these aren't moves that everyone will use, but I use them quite comfortably. I've actually put a tutorial together for my members. If you'd like to learn how I do this trick without the trick deck, then you could go watch. Well, you got to be a member. That's $5 a month. Thank you for that. If you are, you're an important piece of the puzzle. And so you learn my sleight of hand method. So I didn't have a big interest in going through this deck and even like deciphering, but I know this thing has got good reviews. I know people love this trick. It sold out its first run and it continues to do well. So Gary's got it. Gary got it months ago. Yeah, it's been out for a little while. Murphy sent it to me. It's going to sit on my shelf doing nothing. And I thought, why would I do that? And I can't properly review it because I have another method I prefer. So I'm going to give this away to a viewer. And here's how we're going to do this. I'm going to do a drawing next week. So if you want to win this, viewers that are with me here today, what time is it? 4:16? For the next 1 minute, what I want you to do is comment the word quantum. If you do that in the chat, in the live stream, you'll have 2 chances to get your name on the wheel. I want to give my live viewers an extra goal. So I will rewatch the live stream and put the names on the wheel that will be posted today. Y'all are going to want to type the word quantum, and I'll enter you double. And to get the second entry, you'll want to comment on this video. If you're watching the stream after the live, which most of you will be, just drop a comment below, use the word quantum, and then we'll do a wheel spin next week with all of the comments and everyone from the chat that has commented quantum for the next 30 seconds. We don't want this to go. Drew's going to quick trip. All right. Let me get set up for our next thing. Got a couple more. This one I'm excited about, actually. This is boarding pass. This is cool. Now, I had to make an audible. Can I do this trick? Can I do this trick? Let me tell you a little story about this trick. It's a phone trick, right? So it uses a spectator's phone. And really, in my opinion, it uses three phones. You get a few people involved. I learned this trick, showed it to my wife. She loved it, which again, she's jaded. For her to have enthusiasm about any magic moment is challenging, but she was happy to see this effect. I was excited to share it on the stream. And then I realized this as I get ready today, that this camera is my phone. So now my phone is the camera. I got to figure out another way to do that. And so we're going to do that now. Gary, I hope you win it. That's the spirit we like. If you win it, you'll gift it to, I know you got one of those. Leaves in the house. Brother, what's happening? Good to see you, Jason. We go back about 8 million years. Although Jason still looks like he's 23. I need some of that elixir in my life. All right, let's talk about boarding pass. Boarding pass. For this, hey, Jason, help me with this trick. For this trick, we'll need a country. So, Jason, if you can just name a country. Now, as I asked Jason to just name, not a country, a city. I'm sorry, a city. Any city in the world. And I'm thinking I could also talk about Cogni as I do this. Yeah, do the one we rehearsed so this trick works out, brother. Thank you. That would be helpful. This is Cogni, which is another, we talked about the peak feature earlier in the wallet, the Orphic Wallet. Grand Forks, is that even real? Okay. So I think this trick would be best served if I had you write down the city. You would write down, I would hand you the notebook and have you write down Grand Forks. And then you would tear out the paper and you would keep it. And the reason you would use a tool like this is because I could get that information secretly without you knowing it. So rather than having you name a city or verbalize it, you write it down, and so now it's secret. All right. So, That's what this does. This is Cogni. It's a very innocent device. I will be using this for the magic square when I have a spectator. Pardon me. Multitasking is hard. When I have a spectator choose a number for the magic square, I will be using that. All right, Jason, one more choice. I have 3 tickets here. I'm going to use the one you choose. We'll just call this one orange, this one blue, and this one white. So, Mr. Lieb, if you will choose orange, blue, or white, and this will be an interesting. So blue. I'll save the blue one for last. Now you have to imagine in the wild that you're in this situation. You say, hey, buddy, I need you to bring up the camera on your phone. And I would have a few spectators do this. So let me bring up my camera here. Boink. Photo mode. And then you have your friends scan. There's a little QR code, and they scan it, and then a link pops up, and you just tap the link, and then Google Maps opens, and it'll go to a city that ticket is for. Where are we at here? Moscow. So that's where that ticket goes. And then if you had multiple friends, you wouldn't have to do what I'm doing now, which is reopen the camera. You have a second friend scan this one, and they go, where are they going? Singapore. Fascinating. Singapore. Now, I don't know nothing about no Grand Forks, but I know you chose this blue ticket. And again, envision the world where you're spectator. And what if they'd written this down and not even said it, right? Oh, we got to get the camera up. And it's the spectator's phone. It's not your phone. And they choose the city. They choose the ticket. If this goes to a Grand Forks, it's going to blow my mind. Is that Grand Forks? Okay, Jason, it's the one in North Dakota, but that counts in my universe. It's any city, any ticket, and it's the spectator's phone. And that is what boarding pass is. Will this be a trick that lives with me for the rest of my life? Have I had fun doing it? Yes, I have. Would you have fun doing it? I don't know. If you like what you saw, you probably would. Note that you will have to use your phone secretly or have a secret accomplice, or there's options here. You could also use voice activation. Yes, David O, that was actually Grand Forks. That's what it does. This is the magic. You name a city and it's there. I hope it showed up on the screen okay, but that's what it is. And we like almost everything I've showed today. The Cogni notepad's cool, the boarding pass. It's $45, so it's a little pricey, but it's, as far as good magic apps go, it's good. All right. I did want to do a couple other tricks, but maybe before that, I'll get to some viewer advice. Let me see. Giga Chad wants to know, can I do another city? You could do another city. Yeah. I'm not going to now because of the camera, and I got to rescan. And, if you had a few people open up now, like most magic tricks, you don't want to repeat it because all people do is try to figure out the secret if you repeat it. Maybe watch the broadcast later. Maybe you can suss me out and figure out what I did. All right. All right, where am I? I'm going I'm going over here to remind myself what the questions are today. Oh, rubber band trick. So this is what I'm doing, folks. In my community, before I post, before I do a live the day before, I'll tell the community tab. I'll be like, hey, I'm going live. Anything you want me to talk about? And so that's what we're doing now. Going to talk about some things. Rubber band trick. Someone wanted me to teach a rubber band trick. I'm not going to do that because they're so cumbersome. And I was looking. Let me get some rubber bands out here. I was looking through a tutorial I did earlier this year, it was about a year ago, on the crazy man's thumb cuff and a few versions, and how insane it was to try and teach a rubber band moment. Now, this is a trick most of you will be familiar with, where you interlock two rubber bands, one inside the other. Oh, just lost one there. It's all right. That's why we have extras. Prepared professional, ready to go. Two rubber bands trapped one inside another like a crazy pair of handcuffs, and then they appear to penetrate one through another. This is Herb Zero's wonderful trick. It was published in Tarbell 7, and you can learn this on the YouTube. Now, what I taught on the YouTube is my handling of this, which I call the crazy man's thumb cuff. You do it with your thumb, and it looks like the rubber band goes right through your thumb. So it's a rubber band, that's a thumb, the band goes right through it. Hope that looked all right. And what I've done for you is leave a link to that tutorial where you can learn that, a couple other things, talk about some other rubber band stuff. Hope that is helpful information. I can't just do a whole bunch of rubber band teaching today. Classic pass tips. Question number 2. As I do these things, I can't see the comments. Here's a good question. It's practice. And I love my art and I care about it. All right, classic pass tips. Here we go. When I think about the classic pass and what I could talk about this thing for an hour. I don't want to do that. I want to offer something maybe that you could use to better your pass. We're going to talk about getting the break and disguising the break. All right. So classic pass, I'm going to assume when you say classic pass that you're talking about a standard style shift. And that is for me, a classic pass, without any cover. So here, I'm going to get the break and I'm going to shift. Now, when I do the pass, I'll often add in a riffle or a dribble, and that covers the motion a little better than that. But what I want to talk about today is when you obtain the break, how are you going to disguise it before the action? So here I am ready to do the pass right here. Look how that's pretty clean from this angle. But if we look from the back angle, there's a lot going on back here, right? My pinky is jammed up in there. So there is a wide gap coming out the back, but you're not seeing any of this because I'm using distinct pressure points on the side of the pack. And the two I want to mention most notably are the curled forefinger on the top and then my thumb, which rests at the inner corner. This is when you hold a pinky break like this, it's that back corner that causes the most problems. So you can put your thumb there to kind of disguise that area. And then if you apply pressure downward with your forefinger curled on top, this will disguise your break. You shouldn't be holding this position for long. It's called framing the deck, and that's a whole nother problem. You don't want to be hanging out like this before you get ready to do your pass. I try to do it kind of in one flowing motion. So I'll obtain my break from a little step coming up and then kind of hit it as it comes up to the fingertips. Again, this is the kind of thing we could spend hours on. There's a good suggestion from Orhpic, my DVD Pinky Swear, which is now also available as a download. Maybe I'll talk about that next. I will talk about that next. We have a store on YouTube. Let me just go ahead and talk about that right now. I'll get back to the advice. Do I have a screen to share here? Boink, share screen over here. So yeah, look, on my YouTube channel, now you can do this. You can go here, and I have things I sell right on the YouTube. So I got like my home, and then I got my community. This is the community tab over here. I was talking about where I do there's like, hey, we're gonna do some of this. I have the membership. If you're in the members area, this is where you learn about the things. Like I did, if you're a member, you can get Pinky Swear. It's available for you here, free. So that's there. That's my members tab. But now, in lieu of the merch store, we now have the Doug Conn, and these are basic things. If you're looking for some more of the advanced stuff, you're going to want to follow me at conjure.com. Note that you can also click on these things to go to my store, and once you're there, you can start navigating some of the other things that YouTube does not allow me to sell. For example, YouTube does not, they're not happy with, that's right, Drew. We got to pay the rent. YouTube is not happy with ebooks. They're not happy with digital downloads. And, but I still offer them. You just can't buy them direct from the YouTube site. So join us there. I'll do a trick or two from that section, maybe, but you know, you got to spend some money. It helps the channel. All right, where are we at? We did some marketing tips. Let me get that off the, we did the marketing. We're doing viewer. Oh, here's a good one. Scripting. Oh, scripting. I can also talk about this, I guess, while I'm plugging things. I talk a lot about all my approach to creating content, and whoa, in my Trick Talk manuscript, which is also available as a PDF now on that exact site I was just talking about. Basically, when I sit down to go about filming a trick, or really creating any trick for a presentation, I expect an audience to watch, right? Anyone, live or virtual. Step one, let's create some interest that our audience can understand or can appreciate, right? If we're going to, it's such a deep subject. Elmsley said it best. Can your audience appreciate the effect? Is it simple? Now, how are we going to hook their interest at the beginning? Well, depends. How about this? Someone name a trick in the chat. Anyone in the chat, give me a magic effect, and I will go about an improv scripting presentation. My goal being to create a hook, to deliver a little light entertainment in the middle with a joke, or, all right, triumph. This is an easy one for me. Jason picks triumph. I'll just explain some of the approaches that I've used in the past. I almost used one here today. And do I have... Hey, y'all, wrong camera. The lighting guy just got fired. Let me see if I have the jokers in here. So today I'm going to demonstrate to you an easy way to discover and remove the jokers from a well-shuffled deck of cards. So there's our hook. Today I'm going to demonstrate to you an easy way to remove the jokers with an interesting shuffle. I'm giving my audience something that they can understand and, you know, grasp onto. So here's what I do. I turn half face up and half face down, and I shuffle the two together. It's known as the upside down all around poker mix. And as I give it this shuffle, I'm looking exactly for those jokers. Now, if I don't see the two jokers, this indicates that they're some of the upside down cards. And if that's the case, that's going to narrow it down considerably, as there are only now two cards upside down in the deck. And yeah, you got it. Those are the cards we're looking for, the two jokers. And that's how you find cards from a shuffled deck. So we've created some interest in our opening statement. We maintain interest with action and patter throughout the effect. And then at the conclusion of the effect, we have a little tagline, something to bring it home. And if you can construct a moment where you have a beginning, a middle, and an end to come back to while you're performing the trick, maybe you'll be on a better path to your own magic scripts. Now, as I talk about this, I feel how unqualified. Now, I'm qualified. I've been doing magic all my life, but I am not a presentation expert. Pardon moi while I, speaking of professionalism, hydrate. You could study much deeper scholars than I on this subject. Go read anything by Eugene Berger. You could read Fitzky's Showmanship for Magicians. Learn the old school and then learn why it's wrong. Find why you argue with these people. Darwin Ortiz has some great volumes on the subject, as does Pete Maccabee, Scripting Magic. It always goes back to the books, doesn't it? Always goes back to the books. All right, last on the Q&A from the community tab line, video editor. Well, sure, I'll talk about that. This is what I use to edit. It's the iPad. And I segued to this from my iPhone. When I decided to do a lot of these video things, I decided I was going to use my iPhone and I wanted the best editor possible. Here's our dead rubber band. So let me introduce you to Luma Fusion, which is over here. I put it down here. Luma Fusion. That's what you want to look for. This app won App of the Year like 2 years ago or last year. The nice thing about this app for me, in addition to its feature set, which is about everything you'll need as a reasonable editor, it's a one price product. It's $20. It's easy to use, especially if you're on the iPad. It's a freaking dream to edit with your fingers and swiping. I do use the Apple Pencil because some of the buttons are a little small on the iPad Air. This is a small device, and yeah, a lot of pros use it for a low one price. It's hard to find a good video editor that you just pay one price for. And if you do, usually they're hundreds of dollars, not $30 or $40. I don't know what they're charging for this now. I bought it on the iPhone for, I think, $20 a few years ago. It's a great product. And if you get into it, I don't think you'll be disappointed. Now, as I move forward, I'm certainly interested in some other things. And I'm currently trying, I've downloaded Final Cut Pro. I have the trial going on and we're dipping our toe in that pond. So there's your Q&As. And let me do one more trick and then I'll answer if anyone here has some questions, we can answer some of your questions. But I did want to do at least one of the tricks from the conjure.com store. Maybe if you can give me 2 minutes of your time, I'll do 2 tricks. No one should be too sad to see a little magic. And magic you could consider doing. And this is one anybody could do. And when I put tricks on my site, I kind of keep a beginner in mind. I want people to be able to buy my stuff and be happy about it. So this is an eye test that uses 2 different color. I call these poker chips. You have noir. It's black and white. It's black and white is what it is. The white's on the right, the black's on the left, and that's unless you wiggle the thumbs, which is an old ruse I learned from David Roth back in the 80s. That makes the black jump to the right hand or back to the left hand. Again, when you wiggle the thumbs, the 2 chips change places. Now, I'm going to ask you to hold your applause. And you know what I'm reflecting on now? I'm going to continue this trick, but let me comment on the scripting. Okay. How did I start this trick? This is a vision test. Oh, it's a vision test. Not, here's 2 things I got at a magic shop. Watch as I fool you. It's a vision test. Now my spectator is interested. Now my spectator can appreciate the effect. Now, obviously, this is a sucker trick. As I'm doing this and GP's getting the idea, your audience will say this. So you do this, you say, watch, the black goes where the white was, and the white goes where the black used to be. They will say, are they double-sided? And this is what's called a sucker trick. And this is where I say, please hold the applause. And as I was noting, I try and get a little joke in there, right? And my audience chuckles because honestly, this is not a miracle of the universe. So, yeah, they're double-sided. That's the white on the back side. I don't like to turn over because you'll see the blue, which is on the back of the other white has the green. And if you turn these 2 over, you'll find self-working magic, the bane of my existence. You'll find the red, you'll find the yellow. So easy a 5-year-old could do it, but a master of sleight of hand is going to have issues every time. Whee! Self-working magic. That's the black and white surprise, folks. What happened there? All right, what's next? One more here. This is a trick that maybe you have a little skill. Maybe you know a little something. This is a trick you might consider. It's not a self-working trick, which means I should be able to execute the whole thing. It's just 4 cards, 1 move. 4 cards, 1 move. 2 of the cards are holy. They're cards with a hole, And then 2 of the cards are whole cards. Now, the holy cards are the cards with the holes. The whole cards are red on the back. This means if you take a card with a hole, put it on the whole card, it looks like a spot. Looks like a spot card. And that's the same for both sides. Now, if you want this to look like a magic trick, just a little laser breath and you can flash, you can make the spot whole. It's a whole spot. It doesn't move. Who's laughing now? Not me. I obviously chose one too many tricks today. Let me just tippy tap, tap, tap as we get a whole bunch of spots is what that is. It's a whole bunch of spots. Alternatively to that, you could take the whole card onto the whole card, and if you swirl it, it makes the hole look a whole lot bigger. But the astute student will see that's actually a spot card with a hole in it. That's in contrast to the whole spot card. So that's a whole spot card. That's a spot card with a whole card, a whole bunch of spots. And that is the whole thing. Ladies and gentlemen, you've seen it live on the internet. 92% correct. Daryl's rendition of the whole thing available not just at the Doug Conn YouTube store. You can also still shop at conjure.com. You can go to my, where is it? You can go there and purchase your magical wares as well. That will complete our marketing for the day. And now all I have left to do, I think, did I miss anything? Is spend a little more time with you. So I'm going to do that as I kick it into chill mode. And we can really talk about whatever you want for the next 10 minutes or so. Maybe a little longer. I guess the wife will be home in about 20 minutes. I should probably be done by then. But is it me or is the lighting, am I phasing in and out? As we segue into the less structured program, this would be a good point to say, hey guys, if you had fun, drop a little like on the video, maybe subscribe. And if you haven't considered the membership, maybe you could consider that as well. I've got a couple dozen tutorials there for you. This one's easy, Salzar. What's the biggest beginner's mistake? 2 things, really. Like I did today. They tried to learn too many things too quickly. This is generally a recipe for disaster. We saw some of that today. So take it slow. Learn a couple things. The other thing is this. They don't practice presentation. That's a great question, Rark. How's the magic course coming? It's well structured. And I've got everything listed out. I'm going to be brutally honest right here with you and me. I've been having some dental issues. And as I have dental issues, I might have to have some major work done. And I'm not in a position right now to film for hours on end. So it's on pause. I don't have an answer for when it will be back. So that's a rough road to hoe for me, but it is what it is. We're working through it. Joe Paul, Misdirections Magic Shop. Sure, yes. I assume that's the Joe you're talking about. Misdirections? Yes. If you go back in there, tell them I said hello. Of course you got the whole thing, you packet trick junkie. And Daryl was the king. Look at Drew coming in with the little love. Hey, Drew. Thank you, brother. You're the most givingest. Well, you're in the top 3. Thank you, brother. Oh, yeah. You can stop with the quantums. You had to comment earlier. If you want to get in the thing, comment on the thing below. Go into the comments of the video post-stream. There we go. How do you get the coin from the pinky to the pointer finger? I'm going to remove my ring as I try to be elegant about this. And let me just briefly warm up my coin roll as I have not touched a coin in maybe a couple of days. Oh, that's what I forgot. Oh, I've got him right here. Ta-da! Matthew Mosley was kind enough to send me gifts. I've got his wood carving Matthew. My lighting went down here. Well, Matthew Mosley was kind enough to send me some some fan things. He did my logo in a nice wood carving. I love this deck. This is the Immersed in Wonderland. It's a hand. It's almost as though it was it was hand painted by an artist. What was her name? Anyway, yes, Matthew. Thank you. That's what I forgot. Too many things. Appreciate you, brother. Coin roll. Coin roll. Here we go. So if you want to bring the coin back to your index finger, let me get my face out of here. It's the thumb that goes underneath. So we're going to roll it down to the pinky. It's going to stop, clip there. The thumb travels under the hand and then catches the coin and then brings it back to the index finger. And sorry about the bad focus, but that's it. It's the thumb that goes underneath, balances it, and brings it back. Or you can just keep going from one to another. And that's the name of that tune. Drew, still no Okita box stuff. David Miller, man, these are the things that I am not prepared to do today. I haven't practiced thimbles in months. You know, the one I like is Carney's version of the Rossini, which was the real fingertip 3-fly, the Rossini thimbles across. That's a killer. Jennifer, just comment quantum on the stream, on the comment section post stream. So where everyone comments on the video, make a comment with the word quantum. Hey, Keith, thanks for joining the membership. We appreciate it. We being me, because I'm a one-man show. But we getting advice from Gary? Bobo stresses keeping your hand in a fist as you roll the coin over the knuckles. That's probably good advice, right? Because your fingers aren't floundering about. Do I do that? I'm like in the middle. No, I don't have good practices. One hand's better than the other at it, I think. So Jennifer, that's the wrong spot. That's a good effort, but you're going to want to comment in the comment section. I need to figure a better way to say these words. I need to script those words as the case might be. What else? Challenge me with a question. I challenge you to challenge me with your inquiries. Or I just wrap it up and say it's been fun and see you guys next time. I don't know. It's up to you guys if you have something you want to talk about. So, of course, there's Max does this one. What mat do I use? This is a Patrick Przecki Magical Surfaces by Patrick pad. So if you look up Magical Mats by Pat, you'll find Patrick Przecki, best tips in the biz. Look at this. We're solving problems in real time. Boom. Hey, Jimmy, good to see you too. And hey, David, thank you. Like, David's the top tier. David won my heart when he sent me the Deadpool comic. You're my best friend forever now. My daily routine is this. I get up about 5 in the morning and I write a script for the day's video. And then I practice that magic, and then I get dressed and I film it. Along the way, I'm maybe doing 800 other things that involve, packing orders from conjure.com, inventory, things come in, I got to pay people for these products. And but usually the day is focused around writing a script, rehearsing the material, filming what is generally a short form video that takes an hour or two. Then I edit this video. That could take an hour or 2 or 4. It depends on the video. Then I post the video and nurture it, responding to comments. This might take another hour or 2. And a long story short, I have, 10 or 12 hour day most days. Do I have any tips on the Sybil cut? What? Batista? Really? Maybe in his older years. I'll tell my wife you said that. Maybe she'll think I'm sexier. She likes Batista. My tip is learn a false one. If you're going to be fancy and do the Sybil, and learn to catch it when you make a mistake. I've learned this. Here's what I've discovered. When I'm performing at the desk, in particular, when I'm doing flourishes, I'm never in my standard stance. So I have problems doing my flourishes, bringing them up for the camera, which is why I often fumble on screen doing these things. That's a false symbol. If you're going to learn one, why not learn one that doesn't disrupt the order of the deck? And then you're killing two birds with one stone. Matthew, let me come back to that at a later time. I do teach that in my rope thing. If you don't have that tutorial, I'll make sure you have it. I teach Daryl's count, which is a good one. Yeah, we can do that. You got something that you want me to hand out? But what did I miss? I missed a question up here by Suzuku. Oh, so no is the answer. I can't. And the reason I can't do that is because international postage is it's between $20 and $30. I just sent a package to Australia yesterday, couple of decks of cards, $30. It cost me more to send the package than the product retails for. For that reason alone, I can't give away hundreds of dollars of postage. It's hard. I'm not wealthy yet, but I give away when I can. And if you stay tuned, you'll get stuff. So yeah, that's, I love giving things away. I wish I could do it more, but it's that international postage that's killing me. All right. So there's a count on there that I described poorly, Matthew. You're just going to want to look at the end of that for some count alternatives. There's also some wonderful tutorials on this around magicdom. You'll probably find a lot of them on YouTube. Yeah, Australia's the worst for shipping. So I did have a post office box where people could send stuff to me, but that was kind of, again, not really used that much. If you want to send me something, just send me an email. And what's my email? Boink. There it is. Conjure@conjure.com. I'm user friendly. You don't have to just send me stuff. You can ask questions. I'll help you if I can. So that's how you contact me if you want to send me things. That's how Matthew Mosley did it. Thanks again, Matthew. Look, these are going on there. They've joined the collection. You're now in the Ovra. I try to practice the golden rule. We love David Blaine. He changed the face of magic for this century. We love him. Hello, India. Love back. Jennifer, I'm going to make sure that you are on the wheel to win this prize. Oh, here's a great question. I like this question. How do you ask people if they want to see a trick in school or street magic? Before I miss this comment. Oh, Gary, but the stream's not over. Did I not recommend a book? I intended to do that. All right, here we go. This is a great question. I'm going to answer this question and wrap up here because this is a good question. We can all learn something important, and then I'll be done by the time my wife gets home, and she'll be a happy wife, happy life. So the answer to this, how do you ask people if they want to see a trick, is that you don't. You don't ask them. Because when you ask people if they want to see a trick, they don't know. They don't have a frame of reference to answer this question. It's troublesome for someone that hasn't seen magic. So sometimes yes, but sometimes do I want to? And sometimes it's no if you ask them. Now, certainly as you develop some skill sets, some soft skills, you'll learn when people don't need your magic and use your Jedi mind tricks to do it appropriately. The best course of action, though, is to just show them, to generate the hook that we talked about earlier when you write your script. So instead of saying, hey, Would you like to see a trick with some poker chips? It's this. Hey, did y'all have your eyes tested yet? Check out these eye testers. So now I'm not asking if they want to see a trick. And maybe I'm not asking even if they want to see have their eyes tested. Maybe I'm just saying, hey, here, we're going to test your eyes. And boom, I'm right into it. So don't ask. Do, and do it with a forethought of a scripted presentation where your audience can care about the effect. And yes, also, you can also use the Blaine approach. This is the Blaine approach. Hey, watch this. Now, with that reference, with that advice, I'm not going there, Marty. With that advice out of the way, I'm wrapping this up and I'm going to disappear myself. Hey, guys and gals, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you every week, and I'll be back here next Wednesday. We're going to give that quantum deck away. And if you need to see more of me, well, there's a whole YouTube channel full of it around, and you go look at some of that. I could use the views. Thank you. All right, guys. I'll see you next week, and I'll see you in the community tab, and that's